Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are strapping in for a massive 80-kilometer road trip along one of the most geographically compelling coastlines in the world.
We are. We're heading to Cox's Bazar in southeastern Bangladesh.
A place globally renowned for having the single longest continuous sea beach.
But our mission today is to drive beyond that famous beach town. We're diving deep into the 80-kilometer marine drive.
A road where two immense forces of nature really meet.
Exactly. You have the deep Bay of Bengal on one side and these towering jungle-covered hills on the other.
And this unique road takes us right to the southernmost point of Bangladesh, Shapuri Island, which is right near the border with Myanmar's Mongol province.
That convergence of sea and hills, that's our continuous thread today.
It is. So for you, the learner, we are synthesizing the logistical guide, we're mapping the hidden stops that casual tourists miss, and we're uncovering the surprising geography.
And even some of the political context that defines this route.
All leading up to the village at the very edge of the map. Okay, let's unpack it.
So an 80-kilometer drive at the tail end of the country.
Right, first we need to get you to the starting line. Most travelers begin the long journey from Dhaka, maybe catching a bus from a place called Aramba.
And our sources say that standard bus fares, using what locals call Parabahan, they start around 900 BDT for non-AC.
And that's our first critical piece of context. BDT stands for Bangladeshi Taka.
Right. And to give you a rough idea, 900 BDT is, generally less than $10.
For a more comfortable air-conditioned ride, you're looking at maybe 1,400 to 2,500 BDT.
But no matter the comfort level, the overland journey dictates one unavoidable stop.
The necessary 20-minute rest stop.
Often at a place like Nurjahan Restaurant in Kamela, the famous or infamous pit stop.
Exactly.
And here's the essential logistical warning we extracted. While these highway stops are convenient, they are notorious for dramatically higher food prices.
So if you plan to eat,
always establish the price up front. It's a small detail, but it's essential for budgeting your trip and avoiding what our sources called unpleasant surprises.
That's an excellent point. So once we arrive in Cox's Bazar town, the adventure officially kicks off at the Dolphin Moor.
The major intersection, yeah. From there, you have local transport options, the three-wheelers autos or CNGs, and the rugged shared chater gari.
For a full-day trip, though, 80 kilometers.
You have to rent a vehicle for the whole day. The sources found that reserving a CNG, that's a compressed natural gas taxi for the full day, cost about 2,500 BDT.
That's a critical benchmark then. So for roughly $23, you get your transport for the entire day.
An 80-kilometer private tour, it's phenomenal value.
It really anchors the cost of the trip.
It does. So driving south from Dolphin Moor, the first major destination you hit is Himchari. It's only about 5 minutes into the drive.
And Himchari offers that initial taste of the convergence we talked about, right? It's that blend of sea views and hill hiking.
It is. Accessing the hill trail requires a 40 BDT entry fee, but I noticed our sources skipped the hike.
Was that a choice based on budget or time?
It was entirely strategic, based on the mission. When you're planning to reach Shapuri Island, the very endpoint in a single day, you have to prioritize.
So skipping a 2-hour hike saves crucial time.
Exactly. It saves that time for the later, more geographically significant stops. It just highlights that even in a deep dive, you have to be tactical.
That is smart travel planning. Okay, so moving quickly past the hills, the route shifts focus to high-energy activities at the parasailing point.
Funfest, as it's known locally. But before the adrenaline, we need to talk about the backdrop here.
The forest.
Yes, the sheer effort put into environmental stabilization. This area is defined by a massive chaban, a casuarina forest.
And this wasn't just natural growth, was it?
Not at all. The South Forest Division undertook this huge initiative, planting over 50,000 saplings across 20 hectares back in 2018 and 2019.
And that conservation effort isn't just for looks. If we connect this to the bigger picture, planting these huge forests is crucial for stabilizing the sand dunes.
It prevents the kind of coastal erosion that could literally undermine the Marine Drive Road itself.
So it's a strategic infrastructure move, masquerading as a scenic spot.
Precisely. And against this impressive backdrop, the action is nonstop. Jet skis start at 300 BDT for a short ride.
And the sources gave us a great breakdown of the group options. A speedboat for 4 to 6 people runs 3,000 BDT. That covers a 12-kilometer round trip out into the bay.
And of course, parasailing. 2 packages, 2,000 BDT for the standard flight.
Or 2,500 if you want the full experience, including a foot touch in the water.
After that adrenaline fix, the road leads to a crucial geographical feature, the Rezu Call.
The Rizu River. This isn't just a stream, is it? It's a significant natural boundary.
Geographically, this river originates deep within Myanmar's Walidong Hill and travels quite a distance before it meets the Bay of Bengal right here. It's a real point of confluence.
And because it's so accessible, kayaking is a popular activity.
Surprisingly popular, yeah. Near the old bridge, for 250 BDT for 30 minutes, 2 people can get on the water.
It's a chance to slow down and really absorb the landscape where the river's fresh water meets the salty bay.
A moment of geographical peace before the next major stretch.
Moving further south, we hit the next beach stop, Inani Sea Beach. Now, everyone knows Kolatoli and Laboni beaches closer to town. What's Inani's strategic advantage?
Inani's primary appeal is its seclusion. It's significantly less crowded, but what makes it truly special, and this is a detail that sticks with you, is that during low tide,
The corals become visible.
right on the beach, you can see them.
That's fascinating. Considering how developed the northern beaches are, does that imply Inani is better preserved, or is it just a geological quirk?
It definitely suggests the former. The presence of visible coral gives it a feel that's, reminiscent of the famous but distant St. Martin's Island.
A truly unexpected natural gem right on the main drive.
It is. Logistically, though, if you were hoping to catch a ferry to St. Martin's from here, you're out of luck.
Right, the old Inani jetty is broken.
Completely non-functional. All current St. Martin services run from the Nunya Char jetty, which is further north.
Okay, so after Inani, we reach what our sources call the geographical turning point of the entire journey, Pachuartek Sea Beach.
And like Inani, it features hills on one side, sea on the other, lots of dead coral stones.
But this is where the itinerary shifts from just a scenic drive to a true deep dive.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
Because the vast majority of tourists, day trippers, they consider Pachuartek their final destination. They turn around here.
They do. But the source material is clear. The true, hidden, and often stark beauty of the Marine Drive begins after Pachuartek.
This is the boundary we have to cross.
Pushing past that tourist barrier takes us into a more remote area, and it leads us to Ladal Kakrar Beach.
Red Crab Beach, a quest for wildlife.
It's named, fittingly, for the red crabs, but they are incredibly elusive.
The sources detailed how fast they are. They just retreat into their holes the second they sense you.
You're lucky if you catch a true glimpse of them hunting small fish on the shore.
From the challenge of observing fast crabs, the journey takes on a heavier geopolitical tone.
It does. Continuing south, you reach a physical gate that marks the division between 2 major sub-districts, or upazilas.
Teknaf and Ukiah. You're officially crossing a locally significant boundary.
And that transition takes you almost immediately to a significant modern landmark, the Major Singha intersection at Shamlalpur.
Tragically named because Major Singha was fatally shot there, marking it as a location with some heavy contemporary significance.
And just beyond that intersection, we arrive at Shamlalpur Sea Beach. It's famous not for tourists, but for the craftsmanship of local fishermen.
This is the place to see the sampan boats.
These are not your standard trawlers. The sources highlight their unique, robust shape.
So what makes them so special for this area?
They are specifically shaped to withstand and, fight the stronger, deeper waves of the Bay of Bengal. They can handle true deep-sea fishing.
A perfect example of local innovation solving a massive logistical challenge.
As the drive continues from Shamlalpur, the visual landscape becomes intensely defined by that convergence of hills and sea.
High hills on one side, open sea on the other, and it's impossible to ignore the context behind those hills, isn't it?
Not at all. They shelter the massive Kutupalong refugee camp just inland. It's a powerful visual juxtaposition.
The stunning scenic beauty side by side with the reality of an immense humanitarian effort.
And as you drive about 70 kilometers from your start, the specific hilly formations you pass are locally nicknamed the Hollywood Hills.
These formations, near Teknaf Bazar and the Naf River, were always the backdrop for anyone traveling to St. Martin from Teknaf.
They truly resolve that classic traveler's debate. Hills or sea? Here you get both, defining the landscape right up to the very end.
And the engineered Marine Drive Road physically ends at a place called Sabre Market.
But our journey isn't over. To reach our ultimate destination, Shapori Island, you have to leave the main road.
And drive another 5 to 6 kilometers on a more local connecting road.
And this final destination is unique. Shapori Island Union is tiny, only 12 square kilometers.
Yet it supports a dense population of around 40,000 people.
Its small size really belies its massive geographical and economic significance. The economy here is defined by its location.
Salt farming.
Fields of it are visible everywhere you look. That and commercial fishing. Critically, the island is bounded by the Naf River on one side and the Bay of Bengal on the other.
Which means if you just look across the Naf River, you can clearly see the hills of Myanmar.
It's the closest most travelers will get to the physical border. It gives you this profound sense of place and proximity.
The journey officially terminates at the Shapuri Jetty, the literal southernmost geographical point of Bangladesh accessible by road.
But this is where you hit a point of major logistical complexity for tourists.
Yes, this is key information. Trawlers do operate from here to St. Martin's Island.
And the sources are definitive, travel is strictly restricted to local residents.
The Coast Guard enforces this.
They do. They require verification of identity using a national ID before they permit passage. General tourists cannot use these vessels.
So it's not a secret back door to St. Martin's.
Not at all. It's a critical piece of information. You make it all the way to the end, the border is visible, but access is tightly controlled. It suggests deep strategic or environmental concerns are at play.
But Shapuri Island does offer one final, beautiful, natural reward.
Because of its specific geographical placement, a narrow north-south landmass between the river and the sea, it provides a rare vantage point.
Perfect for viewing both the sunrise and the sunset over the water.
Because there you have it.
You've navigated the full 80 kilometers, moving far past the typical tourist cutoff point at Petuartek. We've discovered everything from ecological stabilization efforts to unique coral visibility.
Right through to the strategic importance of this coastal edge defined by the Naf River and the visible border with Myanmar.
So what does this all mean?
I think the Marine Drive is not just a scenic bypass, it's a boundary layer. It's a place where infrastructure battles coastal erosion, where local livelihoods face geopolitical realities, and where nature, culture, and security converge.
And the deeper discovery is the Naf River itself, that narrow, life-sustaining, yet heavily regulated channel separating that 12-square-kilometer community from Myanmar.
Exactly.
So given the visible salt farming, the dense population, and the strictly enforced travel restrictions preventing tourists from getting to St. Martin's from this point, what combination of political, security, or even environmental factors must be shaping the long-term control and use of that vital island community today?
That's something for you to mull over as you reflect on this journey to the edge.